Hey y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and what I want to do today is an experiment. What I have is, I have the Fuji as usual. I'm going to use this camera because it has a crop sensor lens. That's the main reason I'm picking this camera. Number two is because I really like using it. But what I want to do is, I'm trying to basically kind of start a little mini series about budget photography and if you can get good photos on the cheap. Do you have to drop $2 grand on a camera body to get good images out of a camera? Who knows? Well, we're going to find out. We're also going to test lenses and the quality of different lenses. Now, the first test I'm going to do is all manual focus, all manual aperture, because I'm adapting Nikon base lenses to the Fuji, so they're not going to be autofocus. Autofocus lenses immediately run the score up, okay? So what I'm trying to do is, say you've got someone who wants to get into an interchangeable lens camera and start taking photos for themselves, and they just want to start out, kind of dip their toe in it, you might say, and do it a little bit on the cheap. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna buy lenses that are really budget and see how they perform against more expensive glass. And even the more expensive glass isn't as costly as the autofocus equivalent. So with that, first up is the Nikon 28mm AIS. Alright, this one has close range correction. It's f2.8 through f22 and one-stop steps. This lens is a phenomenal little piece of glass. I use this lens a lot and I really like this little lens. You can have these lenses for about 200 bucks on eBay. They're not super expensive lenses, but they are kind of costly. This is our most expensive lens in the lineup today. You got $200, give or take a little, for an AIS 28mm manual focus. Excellent optics. If you can spend about half that, you can get the 28mm AI. Now this lens, the difference is very obvious externally. You have this tapered bezel where the data is written on the lens on the AI variant, and on the AIS it's actually written on the face of the lens crown. These lenses are on eBay and they're everywhere on there, and they're about $100. You can get a really nice mint one, $120 shipped. That'll be our mid-grade lens. Alright, then we're gonna throw down the gauntlet. This is an old Sigma manual focus lens from the 80s, if I'm right. Alright, this lens is a 28mm f2.8. It has a manual aperture that feels pretty stiff. It works fine, but it's not as buttery smooth as the Nikon equivalent. But it does have half steps between all of the aperture settings, so you get twice as fine of aperture control with the Sigma as you do with the Nikons. They claim this to have some sort of macro functionality. Really, it's 28mm. But what that means to me is it'll focus closer than normal. So I don't know what it says 0.92 feet. So you know, you're looking at about 10-11 inches is the minimum focus distance. But this lens was a whopping $14.40 on eBay. Seriously, 15 bucks. Yeah, I think shipping on it was $7. So I got this lens for just a touch over $20 shipped, all the way to my door. So will it be able to compare to the Nikon lenses? Another reason I want to use the full frame lenses on the crop sensor camera is these lenses take basically, they have issues around the perimeter. Some of these older lenses do. These, especially like these little $15 ones. But with a crop sensor camera, you just take the center section of the image out. So these will all act like about 35mm, 36, something like that, I guess, millimeter equivalent, because they're just cutting out the center of the circle of light projection out of these lenses. So that being the case, these lenses could perform equally as well since we're using the center of the lenses. Now I'm going to shoot them all wide open and see what the comparison is between them. So with that, let's go outside out here and let's take some pictures. Let's have some fun. Come on. First up is the Sigma. I just want to use it because I just got it in the mail the other day and I haven't had a chance to actually kind of wring it out, you might say. So this will be the first time it's had photos taken by me with it. All these lenses came to me Has excellent grade plus lenses. $14.40, and it's in like new condition nearly. This is it's got, you can see a little bit of wear marks here and there on it, but very, very little. All right, let's find something to photograph. Well, the results are pretty surprising, aren't they? A $15 lens will take acceptable photos on a crop-centric camera. If you'll do your part, take your time, get good focus. The by and large is you can get that $15 lens and take decent photos with it. So, you know, I'm probably not going to use it personally because I have the 28 AIS and I even got the 28 AI, which seems to take phenomenal pictures in my opinion. But some lenses are junk. They are. There's some of them are out there are junk. The three I tested today are not. Now the build quality of this little Sigma lens ain't all that great. It's plastic feeling. There's some parts on it that are plastic. The aperture ring is kind of stiff. It does have half step detents on the aperture, which is kind of interesting, and the focus isn't as smooth as the Nikon, but it works. At the end of the day, you just need a lens that'll get you the shot. I was surprised at how sharp it will get. I mean, those screw heads are larger than life, much larger than life. Yeah, kind of blew me away. Anyway, with that, this is David, the Georgia photographer. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like my video, thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And if you got anything to say, just throw it down in the comments. Have y'all ever used any cheap 28mm lenses and they work good? Let me know. You know, let's hear it. So with that, I'll see y'all soon. Y'all take care. Bye bye.